you know, we have also had a big promise, you know, every year that you move into a new year. There's always this renewed hope, irrespective of the kind of situation a nation or an individual is going through. You look forward to that new year as if it's got the magic to change things. And for 2017, the government is already speaking about the year, saying that that's the year that we just might get out of recession. And with all of this, you know, you just highlighted, it would seem as if we don't put them in place, we just might be, you know, way far from getting into that comfort zone. What are the quick things that you love to see now that we're getting into 2017 with policies like this? Because you've just hit it, you said we shouldn't be second guessing, we must be sure of policies and programs we're putting in place, and also doing the result that we'll be getting at the end of it all.
The government act on the promise. If you say you want to recalibrate, revitalize, blossom the country back, you want to spend your way out of recession, for goodness sake, invest, because I don't want to even call it spend it. Spend that money so that it, you know, there are a lot of policies that are 30,000, 35,000 miles in the sky. Yet on the ground, nothing is happening. If you're investing in agriculture, make sure that those policies work. As I speak with you, a lot of the owners of farms, whether they be grains or livestock, have applied for some of the intervention programs of CBN that through their banks, and most of these applications are stuck in CBN, not released, not signed. Yet some of these things are things you are using as the pillar for revitalizing your economy. So you see what I'm speaking about there. You can't speak from one side of your mouth and talk another from another side of your mouth. The devil is in the detail. Your implementation is important. That's one. Take on critical areas. Let us take agriculture and infrastructure. Recalibrate your infrastructure. Bring it to a place where it will be able to carry the economy. What are your waterways like? What are your roads like? What are the railways like? I was thinking that with the Minister for Transport, maybe the first thing perhaps you have done is to do Port Harcourt International Airport. As I speak with you, the arrival is still in a tent. So who are you trying to bring in? How does that affect? I wouldn't let a company like Aero go off, die. You know, it just came back 2 days ago. If I was Minister of Employment, I would do all to keep you afloat, because this would deplete the numbers of people that are hired. I'm looking at they're working in silos. They need to run, lace it in.
Am I getting the idea of also looking like bailing out some of these companies instead of always bailing out states, just the way we saw President Obama do with some big firms, and corporations in the U.S. when they had the issue financial crisis?
There are what you call very sensitive businesses. I'm saying, government, your own policy. If you notice and see businesses that have, let me give an, supposing God forbid Dangote has a challenge today, if you let it go, you will be in trouble as a country. So it's enlightened self-interest. Government, as I speak with you, has about 89% shares, owners of Aero. You shouldn't have let that company. It will affect MMA too. It will affect the banks. It will affect the eateries. So I'm saying this is not rocket science. One action that will triple down, and you will come to that and say the economy is under trouble because a particular section has been hit and you didn't quite understand, or you refuse to take it from that perspective. So what I'm saying is, take those areas you have said you want to use to reflate the system and invest resources, pump money, spend your way through so that you will feel it. You will know that there's no point speaking in Abuja when the man in Ikare is complaining. They will not believe you. You don't believe them. That's what will happen. Government does not believe the private sector. Neither does the private sector believe the government. So there must be a place where they must agree. Because if the government believes the private sector, they will know that certain actions you take today will take time as the private sector works it. Or the private sector will look at government and say, you know what, They have said this today. Tomorrow, who knows, they're going to change. All the policies of cassava, all the policies on rice that Obasanjo did, they have all been turned upside down. People invested resources, people brought in equipment because of those things. Now, what are you telling them? So how are they going to believe you that the policies you're investing time today will work in another 2-3 years?
That's a big one you just asked, and perhaps that is why the government hasn't said anything to those asking for a review or a cancellation of those who came on in the power sector. Pascal Odibo, many thanks for joining us on the program today.
Thank you very much.